Right now, it is looking very likely that we are going to be getting an Ultra for the part 1 of the 7th anniversary. If we're being real, this isn't good news. And if you're asking me, this is bad news. Before we go further, can we get a Chrono Crystal check? With the release of Demon King Piccolo, we know we're in a Dragon Ball OG saga, aka the Saving Saga. So let me know how many Chrono Crystals you've got right now down below. But it's looking very possible, especially with all the reasons I'm going to give in this video. Every year, the Dragon Ball Legends developers try their best to enhance the anniversary and surpass the previous anniversary that they had in the game. The 6th year having 2 Fusion Warrior headliners for part 1 that are fusing, it's quite a high bar to pass. But they've been releasing updates to make the overall gaming experience better, and they have more to come, and we haven't even started the anniversary yet. So only naturally, a lot of people are going to have their expectations high. They've already said that the 7th year is a very important year to them, so I kind of expect no less. But with this idea of an Ultra, I think it's one of the ways that they can surpass the start of the anniversary, especially with what we had last year in the 6th anniversary. So in the comment section below at the end of this video, let me know what you think about all the points that I raised, and if you agree or disagree with the possibility of an Ultra for the part 1 of the 7th anniversary. To start this video, we need to look at the current lineup that we've had in 2025. So let's start at the Cell Saga and move forward to what we have now, which is Demon King Piccolo. At the start of the Cell Saga, we got Super Saiyan Goku, the instant transmission unit. Now what I want to point out is that this unit released on the 12th of February. February is a short month, but 3 weeks after that, we got our Ultra. The first one of 2025, Ultra Perfect Cell. His banner released on the 5th of April, and that would be the end of the Cell Saga. We didn't get any other Cell Saga units after this fact. We then moved into Dragon Ball Daima, which we were expecting, maybe not this soon, but we did get it. We started with the Legends Limited Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. He dropped on the 14th of March. And then only 2 weeks later, he gets one-upped by the Legends Limited Super Saiyan 4 Goku, our current #1 in the game, and he released on the 26th of March. Now getting 2 Legends Limiteds, at this rate, we should be due another Ultra. Maybe not straight away, maybe put out one more Legends Limited. And that's the Legends Limited that we get right now. The first Legends Limited for April, Demon King Piccolo, releasing on the 16th. Now naturally, a lot of people would think that we're going to get an Ultra next, but that's not going to be the case because Tani has already confirmed that for the rest of this Dragon Ball saga, we're only getting 2 Legends Limited. So Legends Limited Demon King Piccolo is the first one, and we're due another one. But that means we won't be getting an Ultra unless they decide to surprise us, which is quite a big deal. What this means is we will be getting 4 Legends Limiteds before the next Ultra or the start of the anniversary. Assuming that part 1 isn't Ultra, it would be 4. But if part 1 isn't an Ultra, that means if part 1 has 2 Legends Limited, it could be 6. And that would be only assuming that part 2 of the anniversary also doesn't have an Ultra. If part 2 has 2 more Legends Limited, that means we would have 8 Legends Limiteds before our next Ultra. Bear in mind, we've only got 1 this year. With this lineup of characters in this order, it only makes sense that they start part 1 with an Ultra. They surpassed the standard that we had in the 6th anniversary with Legends Limited, with the only thing above, which would be the highest rarity thing in the game, Ultras. It might not be the only thing we get. We might get 1 Ultra and 1 Legends Limited, which personally I would prefer, because Ultra banners, unless they get completely revamped, are just not it. But if you phrase it like that, which one do you think is more likely? 8 Legends Limiteds at the maximum before we get our next Ultra, or 4 Legends Limiteds before we get our next Ultra? If it's 4, you're going for the part 1. If it's 8, you're going for part 3. But we don't know. Like I said, it's speculative. We just have to see. I want to take a quick dive of what we got in 2024. I already mentioned the idea of the developers trying to increase the bar in every single year after, but let's look at what we got in comparison prior to the anniversary start. So by this point in 2024, we had already got 2 Ultras. We had Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, and the second one, who was the last one before the anniversary started, was Ultra Golden Frieza. Ultra Golden Frieza released on the 27th of March. So the end of March, we got an Ultra. This is similar to Ultra Perfect Cell, who dropped at the beginning of March on the 5th of March. So it's not too far out, but it's not exactly close either. And the last Legends Limited that we got, which is the only release after Ultra Golden Frieza, I believe at least for a premium character, so Legends Limited or Ultra, was the revival character Nappa and Vegeta. Nappa and Vegeta released on the 30th of April, and from then we had a very dry run up until the anniversary. So by comparison, we got an Ultra, then only one Legends Limited up until the anniversary, where in this case we got an Ultra and then we've had four, or we will have four Legends Limited before the anniversary starts. Now if you compare both of those, one of them we're missing some Legends Limited. We had 2 in part 1 and 2 in part 2, so that would have made it 5 Legends Limited in 2024 before we got the Ultra in part 3. In this case, we're already at 4, so if they drop an Ultra for part 1 and they drop a Legends Limited alongside, it would equal that 5, while also simultaneously increasing the bar in comparison to last year. We also got to take in other factors that have been surrounding this period of time. We know that the developers have been trying to improve the game, gameplay wise, and the biggest thing in my opinion is the kit aspects, the way they're going to be designing characters' kits. They're trying to make it so that kits have a lot more individuality, and they also are making it so that kits are easier to read. Now I think one big reason they would do this is because they're trying to make the game bigger. We already have the big RAM updates, so a lot of old phones won't be able to play Dragon Ball Legends, but let's talk about what can be written if they actually minimized or simplified what they write. Have you noticed that Ultras have very long kits? I'm sure we can all agree, especially the summonable ones, more recent ones as well. But if their kits are going to get simplified, that means they could actually write more because it will be easier to understand and everybody can just consume it much better. Have you also noticed that none of the Ultras have 2 kits? And what I mean by that is there's no second life where there's a second kit necessary. We have Ultra Golden Frieza and Ultra Turles, who are the closest thing. They both have comeback, but the comeback pre and after are the same thing. The comeback is just installed and it's a one-time second life mechanic. It's not like a revival layer where the kit changes post transformation. It's not a transformation unit, and there's a lot of reasons that could surround this. For example, if you're making an Ultra unit, you design the ink art and the final art, and that doesn't change. With Legends Limited, whether they're transforming or not, if you hold the screen or tap the screen, you'll be able to get a transformation in the art. But with Ultras, you don't get that. You just get the ink and the final piece. If they were transforming, they might have 2 Ultra ink arts, they might have 2 final pieces, because they have to present both parts of the transformation, pre and post. I think this would be possible heading towards the 7th anniversary, and the best time to do it would be once they actually upgrade the game and have the capability to do that. They can do it without any setbacks, and that would make it so that the 7th anniversary is much bigger than the 6th anniversary alone. Not just in design though, I spoke about kits, it also means that they can add more in their mechanics. We can possibly get multiple transformation units, maybe not specifically in the Ultra, but with Ultras it's also possible, considering they're supposed to be a rarity up from Sparkings, making them much better. I'll also just slide in the idea of an Ultra finish, which people have been speculating for like 3 years now, but I'm not expecting that personally. Now it's only right that I add a prediction in this video. It wouldn't make sense to not have a prediction of what character would be the Ultra if they're going to have part 1 as an Ultra. This is all speculative, but here's what I have to say. If they were going to start the anniversary that way, I don't think it's ridiculous to have Ultra MUI be the headliner. The only thing for me is, if it's going to be Ultra MUI, it's gonna leak. I can almost guarantee that it's going to leak. They haven't had an Ultra Instinct unit not leak. It's just something that happens. If it doesn't happen, shout out to the developers for increasing their security team, but I feel like they've been doing it on purpose. Anyways, the reason it would be Ultra MUI is because of the 3-year process with Legends Limited versus their Ultra counterparts. Let's just start with the 2nd anniversary with Legends Limited Vegito Blue. 3 years later in the 5th, we got Ultra Vegito Blue. In the 3rd, we got Legends Limited Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. 3 years later in the 6th, we got Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. In the 4th anniversary, we got Legends Limited MUI. These are all part 1 by the way. So 3 years later in the 7th anniversary, what do you think we're going to get? Now with this, would there be an Ultra in part 1 only? Would there be an Ultra in part 2? Will there be an Ultra in part 3? These are things we don't know. Would they drop Ultra MUI as a headliner? Then what would be the Ultra for part 3? Is there even going to be an Ultra for part 3? Because if there's not, I think that would make the part 3 quite lackluster lackluster. So these are things that we have to consider. Would they start or end it with this big guy? In my opinion, I don't think they would start the anniversary that way. I think it would be better to end it that way. He's the most hyped things, and ending it better is better than starting it better, in my opinion. If it ends well, all is well. Most things are defined by how they finish. So I would prefer Ultra MUI at the end. But then who would be the start if they're going to put an Ultra there? I would think that Super Saiyan 4 Goku should be the Ultra they release. Super Saiyan 4 Goku, similar to how Dokkan Battle had their 10th anniversary, they dropped a Super Vegito, and then they dropped the Super Saiyan 4 Goku and the SSBE Vegeta and MUI counterpart, right? They had two banners, and Super Vegeta was the main guy, and they also had the other banner where Super Saiyan 4 Goku and SSBE Vegeta were together. Now they could take a similar thing but mix it up just a bit, so they'll be using similar units. We know in the part 2 of Dokkan Battle they had Super Gogeta, and then they had Go Frieza alongside Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. In this case, I think they should just make Super Saiyan 4 Goku the most hyped thing, so they make him the Ultra, then they make a Legends Limited alongside him with Super Gogeta from the Fusion Reborn movie. Why do I suggest this? For one, I think Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and most people should agree, is less hype than Super Gogeta. So if they make Super Saiyan 4 Goku the Ultra, he would rise in value, where Super Gogeta as a Legends Limited, he would somewhat decline in value, but it would balance out, because if Super Gogeta was the Ultra, he would surpass Super Saiyan 4 Goku and it wouldn't be close. Whereas if Super Saiyan 4 Goku was the Legends Limited, in that same way, it would bring him a lot more down and people would obviously go towards the Ultra. So there needs to be reason for it. I also want to say that in the year of GT 2024, quote unquote, we did not get a Super Saiyan 4 Goku. So naturally, we should get one, and they just shouldn't go another year without ever releasing anything GT oriented. So Super Saiyan 4 Goku for the Ultra for part 1 would make a lot of sense to me, but if not him, Ultra MUI. Now to end the video, I want to give a probability on how likely this is, and I have my number ready for you. Out of 100%, I think there's a 75% chance that this happens. I know that is extremely high, but I think the most convincing piece of information about this is the idea that we could get 8 Legends Limited without an Ultra, and I just don't see that happening. I also feel like they really need to surpass the 6th anniversary, and it's very difficult to do that without a higher rarity thing. If it's not an Ultra, what is it gonna be? Just another Legends Limited? Then it would be banking too much on the design. It's almost a free win if they make the part 1 an Ultra, which is why I'm more in support of that. But I can't say it's 100% because they simply haven't done it before, but I think it'd also be an easy way to beat our expectations. So 75%, I know it's high, but I really think it's that possible. That's going to make the end of the video. Let me know what you guys think about this. Like I said at the start, comment down below your thoughts. I'm gunning for this, I'm not gonna lie. When I make my final prediction video for the anniversary, I'll probably make 2 predictions. So one including an Ultra for part 1 and one not including an Ultra for part 1. But I can't fathom seeing a maximum of 8 Legends Limiteds in a row without a Ultra. But hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you haven't already, make sure to press the subscribe button. We're on this grind to 200,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys for watching, man. My name's Zakashi, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man.